YouTube, chicks. Get ready. You know what to do, chicks.
Listen, Chick Smooth.
Hey, Chick Smooth. Appreciate all the coverage that you've been doing. I've been watching your shit for a while. I just subscribed to your shit too, bro.
Sometimes you gotta learn when to cut your losses before things get out of hand. Now, after last year's battle between Drake and Kendrick, I thought we all learned to not talk about people's kids. After Drake mentioned Kendrick's child, it was pretty much downhill for him. Even if you're going to war with your worst enemy, you gotta leave the kids and wives out of it. Now, I'm not gonna lie, last week I was kinda disappointed in some of you guys. Last week when Mackwop was responding back to Joe and he brought in Joe's son Trey into the conversation, some of you guys were actually defending it in the comments. Some people said, yo, Joe's son is not a child, Chigs. He's 24 years old. Another person said, yo, Chigs, he made a valid point. His son is a grown man. Cut it out. Joe is being messy as fuck and should have been checked, period. And lastly, somebody else said, yo, I call cap. First of all, Joe Budden's son is not a child. That man is a whole 23 years old. Spare me the tears over his name being brought up. If Joe Budden doesn't want people in his life who are trying to be public figures being brought up out of the blue, he should stop his limp D flaccid attempts to pick on people who are out there grinding in real life, selling out shows and headlining festivals. Joe Budden never saw Doechi level success and now couldn't achieve it on his Achievianist day. Now, after people saw Joe Budden respond back to the Native Land podcast, a lot of people said, wait a minute. Why is Joe responding back to these guys, but not back to TDE? Normally when we see people come at Joe, Joe usually fires back, especially when it has something to do with one of the biggest artists right now. Well, last week on the podcast, while they were talking about Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James, Joe made it very clear that Mackwop and the TDE guys crossed the line by talking about his son. Joe felt like his son should have never been mentioned in a conversation that really had nothing to do with him.
I wouldn't.
But I think it's less about getting at LeBron. I agree with you. But I think I think it's less about getting at LeBron and more about affirming his manhood.
That part too.
Like I can fight. Yeah, I did this. Oh, that video with me, boxing, my shoulder was out. Like it's a lot of that.
Yo, Joe, I have a question for you.
What's up?
I want to advance this real quick. You were one of the people that said to Stephen A, or said even to Mark, you don't feel that someone should comment on anyone's child. Yo, you should leave your son alone. After hearing Stephen A. speak on it, do you still stand on that belief?
Yeah.
Even if your son is a basketball player
we ain't spoke about another second round pick since. Stop it.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion. You asked me my opinion.
I'm just wondering.
I'm not trying to argue it. But yes.
I got you. You stand on that. Even if he's a basketball player, even if it's our job to speak about sports and speak about how your son is playing and speak about his average and everything, you feel like if it's LeBron's son, you should exclude him. Don't speak on him.
Yes.
Unless we're saying good things.
I was just going to say, if he's killing, speak on him then or no?
If he's killing, sure, go ahead.
That's what a problem.
And that's what I don't like. If either we're gonna talk about him or we're not. And I'm okay with being of the school that.
I don't think it was cool for the TDE niggas to mention my son or the pseudo TDE niggas to mention my son.
That's not
no matter what the fuck I come up here and say about Doechi.
Yeah, to me that's different.
What's the difference?
The difference is if your son.
What is the difference?
I'm gonna tell you. If your son came up here and spit a freestyle, I don't think it's crazy for them to then judge the freestyle because he's putting himself on the platform to be analyzed. Bronny James is playing in the NBA, so I think he's putting himself in a position to be analyzed. Now, I don't think he should get treated worse or better than other people, but the NBA is always about narratives. We talk about LeBron in the summertime when he's not doing shit. We talk about like NBA,
the Cowboys, the Lakers.
The Cowboys
those are the pencil movers.
But you say we, and that's not we. That's them that do that. Off season for LeBron is an off season for me for talking about LeBron.
That's right. You, not
the sports journalist.
But he said we. I wanted to
I should say that. You're right. That's fair. That's fair.
When the Lakers, the Cowboys, the people you're talking about, that's not me.
Now, even though I felt like Joe was all the way off and all the way wrong for trying to insinuate that Doechi was an industry plant, this one I have to agree with him. If you expect me to go back and forth with you, all in the name of content, we gotta establish some ground rules. You can talk about my rapping career. You can talk about accounting with Rory and Maul. Anything you've seen me do wrong in the past, shit, you can even interview Melissa Ford. Just make sure you leave my child and my wife out of it. That's when the conversation and energy shifts from being content to now somebody taking it personal. Now, if for some weird reason by the end of this year, Joe still hasn't done any interview with Punch TDE, that would pretty much tell us something is going on between Joe and TDE. Both parties right now in this fourth quarter are doing interviews. Punch actually just did an interview with LC where he addresses everybody's claims about Doechi's rise to fame.
Do you see Doechi's trajectory being the way that it did? Because for a lot of people that weren't really tapped in, it feels like this huge overnight like rocket. And there's of course like, oh my god, where do you come from? Industry plant, you know, but how do you see that pan out? Because she won a Grammy and it's best rap album. A woman hasn't won that since like so
I think they got that one correct. I think that was the best
I agree
rap album at that time.
I agree
for sure.
But it was also called a mixtape, so I feel like there was a lot of people just being like,
yeah, I mean, however they do that, like I don't get into that part of it. It's a body of work for me, so it is what it is. But her trajectory is insane. Like I think her strong point is the live performance.
oh yeah,
I mean, she's so polished to be so early in her career, and that's something that stands out for sure.
for sure. But did you see it coming
Yeah, you can tell. Absolutely.
to this level though?
Yeah.
Because I feel like even as a fan, I didn't see it coming.
Really? Why?
I saw like, I loved the album mixtape when I first heard it, but it just felt like there's just a certain boom that just really felt like, wow.
You know what happens to me is it's certain, and this is the thing you can't predict in music is timing. So I think at the time when her project dropped, people wanted something new and refreshing, and I think she provided that. Like she was actually rapping, her timing was crazy on her cadences, and it matched the performances, and it matched the visuals, and everything just clicked at that right time, and that's why it took off, because the actual music was good too. So that's the first point. That's the bottom line, is the music is good.
Very, very interesting interview. Make sure you guys go check it out. Shout out to LC as well for getting this interview. You guys get in the comments below. What do you guys make of Joe's response to Mackwop bringing up his son? And would you guys like to see Joe sit down with Punch TDE? Like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys later, man.